What's up, everybody? And today we have a Mini Cooper 2002. It is the one we did the motor mount on. What we're going to be doing is doing a tune-up on it, pretty much. It does have like an aftermarket air filter. It is a Spectre, however you want to say it. But we're going to be cleaning that, doing an oil change, spark plugs and wires, because this one does have wires on it. Now I'm in the passenger side. On these Mini Coopers of this model right here, I think it's the R50s or R56, can't remember, something like that. But the hood latch is on the passenger side, so you pull that and it pops it up, just in case anybody didn't know that. And we do have it on ramps just because it makes it easier to get underneath. And the hood latch is on the driver's side right here. Just lift that up. But like I said, it does have like a little aftermarket cotton filter. And then here's your plug wires, and your plugs are right there. There's your coil. And the oil filter housing is down here on the back next to the exhaust, of course, but it's right there. And we're going to pull the dipstick up, go ahead and take the cap off, and we'll sit it over here where the latch is, because this one does have dual latches right here, right there. Also, when you go to shut these, push down on both sides of the hood when you shut it, because it will leave the one side latched up, whichever side you didn't push down. But we got it ready. We're going to be doing some fluid checks on here, you know, make sure that she's got enough coolant in her, make sure she's got enough power steering fluid, which this uses hydraulic fluid, just stuff like that, because they are going to be going on a road trip next week, and we just want to make sure everything looks good for them. So let me grab my tools, let me grab all my stuff, and we'll get going on this. And it's probably gonna be a short, simple video, because I will be out of town as well next week. So I'm trying to get a couple videos for y'all before I go out of town. That way y'all just have enough footage to view if y'all want to look at that. But like I said, let me get my tools and stuff, and we'll get this knocked out. The first thing I am going to do is actually take this filter off. We're going to get it cleaned up first. I do know this is a Spectre, however you want to call it, filter, but we're going to be using a K&N filter kit, cleaning kit on this, just because nobody could get in that brand filter. And as you can see, it does have some dirt and debris, and it is a little bent up right here. We'll try to straighten her out a little bit as much as possible. But the way we're going to do this is we're going to use this kit right here. We'll put a link up to that. I think the part number is like 99 5000. Comes with the cleaner and the new oil to do it. Should be enough cleaner to do it 3 or 4 times. Because this is the cleaner right there, and then it just has the spray on oil. I have used this on personal vehicles before, and that's pretty good. And the way you're going to do this right here is we're just going to spray it down. I like to do it pretty generously, just so it gets down in there. And I'm even going to do it inside a little comb piece. Now that we got that soaking, we're going to let it soak for a little bit and let it do its thing. And then whenever we get through, we'll wash it out with a hose and make sure we get all the stuff out. And you want to wash it from the inside out because it does suck in like towards through the inside. So like I said, we're going to let this sit for a while and then we'll come back and clean that after we get all the plugs and the oil changed. Now, as far as wires, we did go with Import Direct. Part number is 42274, and we went with NGK Iridium plugs, and part number is BKR6EIX or 6418. And I'm just going to do these one at a time just so I don't get anything mixed up, but the coils are numbered. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 and 2 is on the front, starting from the left, and then 3 and 4 is on the back. And if you're looking at it, number 3 is on the driver's side, 4 is on the passenger side. But these are 5/8 plugs. Break them loose first, then I'll use my little impact driver. Plugs don't look terrible, and they had Denzos in them. The car has like 250,000 miles, but the engine was replaced with an engine about 10,000 miles ago with an engine that only had 70,000 miles. So you just want to go ahead and do a little tune-up for them just to make sure that they're good to go, get as good a gas mileage as possible, which these right here get pretty good gas mileage. And I don't like to use my impact driver to put them in, it's just a personal preference. If you want to do it, more power to you. And I think all the wires are the same length. And we got like one short wire, the rest of them are the same length. So that one will be too long, too short. That one should work good. Alright, I'm gonna put a little bit of dielectric grease in here. You don't have to go crazy with it. You should feel it click onto the plug and the coil. So I'm just going to rinse and repeat this 3 more times, and then once I get this done, I'll bring y'all back. Spark plugs and wires are changed now, and to get the oil filter housing off down there, you're going to need a 36mm right here. That's what I got. And you need a low profile because if you get a deep socket, you will hit the side of the unibody right here. So as you can see, it fits on there fairly decent. And that one uses a 3/8 ratchet. I will try to put a link up for this. These right here are actually, I think, Power Stroke. The Power Stroke socket. These can get pretty tight. Good almighty. Yeah, she's on there pretty good. Pop it loose. There it goes. Also, before you take this off completely, make sure you have a drain pan underneath because some oil will run out whenever you take the housing cap off. So here is the old one right here. This is the new one. We went with a microguard. It's a MGL 57303. It is a cartridge. It comes with the new O-ring. Putting the new O-ring on now. You see it's got plenty of oil on it. We're going to clean this off before I go put it back on. And if you're able to, try to get a torque wrench down in here, and these normally torque to 25 Newton meters, which is pretty standard for all BMW products. Run it in with my regular ratchet first. Now I'm going to climb underneath here and drain the oil. Just so everybody knows, the drain plug is a 16 millimeter on this, and I did put a new copper crush washer on it. Move that out of the way for a minute. Also, we're going with a Castrol Edge Eurocar 5W40. These BMWs and Minis, they do prefer and recommend Castrol oil when you do the oil change. And we're going to see if we can pour this in here without getting it everywhere, without a funnel. I forgot to grab one. I'm going to put about 4 quarts in it first, because I forgot how much this actually takes. I want to say it may take all 5. I'm not going to crank it yet because I do not have an air filter on here, because we're still letting this one soak, which I'm going to go rinse it out now because it's been sitting for probably about 15-20 minutes. So I'm going to clean it out real quick, and I may even film this too. I'm going to turn y'all around. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but it is a lot cleaner now, and got all the big chunks out of there. But we're gonna let this dry, and then we'll spray it down with the supplied oil for it. And once we do that, we'll install her back on the car, then we'll crank it up and check all the fluids and everything. So it's been sitting for about an hour now, and we got it pretty dry. Now what we want to do is we're going to spray some of the oil on here. Like I said, I know this is a K&N kit, and this isn't a K&N filter, but they all do basically about the same thing. Okay. Instead of this being a blue filter, she'll be a purple filter. And I'll wipe off the excess off the chrome pieces, and you just want to make sure you get it down in them grooves pretty good. And you're going to let this sit also for a little bit before you even start up the car, because you want it to soak in. And I know somebody's going to comment that I did it wrong, but here's a million different ways of doing this stuff, people, and you just choose what you feel like is best for your application. And we're going to let this sit anyway and let it dry on there before we put it in a car, so it's not sucking all this oil and stuff down into the throttle body and all that stuff. Like I said, I wiped all the chrome off of it and everything, get all that excess oil off, and we're going to set it down in the sun for a little bit and let it just kind of soak in there and dry. But once we get it back in there, I'll come in here, put it back on the car, and then we'll reset the oil light on one of these, and then we'll get it all back to where it needs to be. All right, I want to show y'all how to reset the oil life in this. This one is not going to reset because you have to travel at least 20% of the oil life to reset it again. And somebody tripped this not long ago, and it's only been probably 2,000 miles. So this is going to be kind of hard for me to do one-handed. I'll try to set y'all up somewhere where y'all can see this, but you need to press this right here and then turn it to the first click on your key. I'm gonna have to set y'all down real quick so I can do this. So I did the first click, it's gonna come up with that, and then it should go to your oil reset right there, and then you just press and hold it again, and the SIA or the 51A, whichever one you want to call it, it should start blinking with the RST for the reset. And when that happens, you let go and then you hit it again just one quick time and it should reset it. But like I said, this one right here, somebody had already reset it less than 2,000 miles ago, and you have to travel at least 20% of the life of the oil counter, which is about 3,100 miles, and then you can reset it. So, but that's the procedure for doing this. But this is going to end this video. We have everything changed, all the fluids look good now, and I'm probably going to do a tire rotation for them real quick too, but I'm not going to film that. But if y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comment section below. I'll get to them as soon as possible. But until next time, y'all have a great day, and hit all the buttons if you would, the like, subscribe, and notification bell. And like I said, y'all have a great day.